Realm Grinder has a weird place in my heart. When I first started playing it, I loved it, and it was my favorite incremental for a long time. But then something happened. I started disliking it more and more, and I couldn't really tell why. But then I realized what happened. I got to the end game. There are some problems with the post-Ascension game, but first, let's talk about the good things with Realm Grinder. At first, it seems like just another cookie clicker clone. But the more you play, the more you realize that it isn't. It has a lot of depth to it and choices to make. For example, what faction you want to use, and after a while, what mercenary build and what achievements you want to shoot for. It varies in gameplay over time, where you change factions depending on where you are in the game, so the gameplay doesn't feel repetitive. Each faction really feels different and has different gameplay styles, which is really great. Mercenaries give further variance, and you can even give making your own build a shot, instead of the common strategy of looking it up online. After a while, you unlock research, which varies builds even more. It feels good to discover and use a new build that helps your progression. The balance between idle and active felt nice, because you could customize your build to suit your needs. Also, the game didn't drag on for too long, or become too fast. It isn't even overly monetized. But then came the downfall known as Ascension, which comes at the 41st reincarnation. Ascension basically just reduced the multipliers for how much things cost, so that the game wouldn't go past the hard limit of numbers. Personally, I don't like this, but it does make the game feel different again. The real problem was what came with the Ascension, and that thing is time walls. I hate them. Unlocking dragons was basically get the egg, wait 12 hours, get an artifact, wait 12 hours, cast a spell for 12 hours, get assistance and wait for 12 hours, and it just goes on. This is a hideous mechanic, and it doesn't end there. To max your spell tiers, you have to cast a single spell for over 10 days, and the time resets when you reincarnate, so you can't progress in other ways while you tier up your spells. You just have to wait. And in addition to that, to unlock certain necessary features, you have to spend days on certain factions. Having players do nothing but wait to unlock content is so stupid. Having a goal that takes 10 days of progress would be better, but just a simple time wall is obnoxious. My other issue with gameplay after Ascension is that it becomes repetitive. The game had a lot of variance prior to it and didn't feel like you had to play a single faction for too long. But here, you basically just have to grind reincarnations over and over again with a single build that only changes slightly as you unlock new research. It just feels tedious to climb 20 reincarnations the exact same way as each other when the first 20 reincarnations of the game were unique and each required different strategies. This repetition was what caused me to stop playing and move on to other incrementals. Realm Grinder really excels in making a compelling, changing game, and if I'm honest, writing this made me think that I should go back to the beginning and start over. It has a good balance, and it's a good game overall, but after the Ascension, it starts becoming obnoxious with all the repetition and time walls. Pre-Ascension, I'd rate as a 9.5 out of 10, but post-Ascension, I'd only put it as a 6.5, and that's mostly because I like dragons. Real talk here? Dragons are cool. Fus Roda.